Fargo.
Don't you hate when you forget something important? Grandma's birthday, the password to your old laptop, or picking up little Timmy from hockey practice? It's okay, we've all been there. Let us take one thing off your mind this year with Giving Hearts Day Scheduled Giving. Starting January 2nd, you can give to one of hundreds of charitable causes before the big day. You can even pledge to volunteer if that's your thing. Visit givingheartsday.org and help someone in your community today.
970 WDAY AM and 93.1 FM. Fargo Moorhead.
Good morning, Honolulu. 55 degrees outside right now, waking up to a beautiful sun. Oh, wrong gig.
Show.
Sorry.
Wrong gig.
Sorry.
This is Weather and WAG In Focus. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Meteorologist Justin Storm with Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki and Ag Director Bridgette Readel.
Chilly for Hawaii in the morning.
It's just got cold air mass over there, man. It's going to warm up, though. Beautiful. 78, sunny, subtle breeze out of the west.
Little trade wind.
10 miles an hour.
In Hawaii. Which
Surf is beautiful today.
Which has 7 different microclimates on it, which explains some of their agriculture.
You know that they get blizzard warnings in Hawaii?
They do. I was standing in a gift shop the one time I've been in Hawaii and listened to a blizzard warning on the TV. And it was February, and I thought, hold on. But yes, it really was on top of the mountain. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, they get all sorts of fun stuff over there. They really have a really fun climate.
They do.
Do you know they raise cattle in the state of Hawaii?
You know, I heard they have a lot of cattle over there.
They actually do. And that's where they will start them, but they're usually finished in like Nebraska and Kansas. They bring
So
over
they
to
pay
feed.
to ship them inland.
Yes.
That can't be cheap.
I'm sure it's not, but it's part of their input cost.
Why don't they just have their own processing plant on the island?
I don't think
Too
they
many
do.
hotels.
Yeah, that's right. Just not enough room.
They're
on
waiting
Waikiki.
for that hot spot to kick out another island.
They are not in enough. They don't have enough space on Waikiki Beach to put up a packing plant.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Something about the smell of cattle I feel would be off-putting to
Tourists.
tourism business.
I don't
Why
know.
does it smell like a barn?
Because Nebraska says it smells like money. We just
It
go
doesn't smell like money.
We just go after Nebraska for Dean's sake. Here.
You ever been to South Sioux City?
Yes.
They call it Sewer City for a reason.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not there willingly.
It reeks.
But here's the thing. That's what built that town. All
right.
the stockyards, the packing plants. So we can make fun of it. We have our own industries we can laugh at, but all of them are there for a reason.
Right. It is. It's money.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So
If you
money.
Indeed.
If you don't like it, you don't have to live there.
The things that people get paid for, which I don't know. Do you guys get paid here?
We get paid weekly.
I get paid in gum.
Nice.
That's about it.
Well, let's hit the weather real quick.
Please do.
Yes, we've got the last in a series of storm systems, which has battered the West Coast. They're finally going to get a break. It's been 10 days, almost 2 weeks of storm after storm after storm. And that system is going to be riding south of us. So if you have any travel plans going south, areas from Colorado through Nebraska, northern Iowa, and into Wisconsin.
It's storming down south, and I'm not going there.
It's a first.
I know.
This is
a
a win.
first.
Total
That's
win.
a
Yes.
first.
So if you have any travel plans going south on 29, let's say towards Omaha, over towards Des Moines and into central northern Wisconsin, they're going to get quite a bit of snow from this. And that's not bad because they've been very dry this week. When I was down in Nebraska this weekend, it was 50s. Everybody was golfing.
Looks like your hometown's going to get pounded pretty hard.
So
there.
they need the moisture down there. So
Yeah,
that's good news.
Most of the states do in
Yeah.
the southern plains.
So we'll miss out on that storm. And boy, I wish we could see some sunshine. It's just not in the cards this week. A lot of clouds around. And temperature's pretty seasonal where they should be in the teens. That's about normal for this time of the year. So, I mean, it's a normal January, just very cloudy. You know, normally
That's pretty typical, too, though.
yeah, but we've had a week of fog and now a week of clouds. I mean, it's just, let's get some sun back out here. Maybe towards the weekend,
I could use some vitamin D.
right?
Okay.
Would be nice. Well, fun things coming up on the show. We're going to have our guest on today. Bridgette, do you want to introduce who our guest will be at 1:20?
We are going to have Wanda Patsche, and I'm going to make sure I say Wanda's name right. She is the executive director with Farm Camp. Come on, guys, get your sleeping bags. We're going
I'm
camp.
ready.
Sweet.
Going camping.
We're going to talk about that and what she does with Minnesota Ag in the classroom. I think it's pretty cool. And we have lots of stories to share as well as weather headlines. So we're going to do all of that right after this.
From from ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. Dual investigations into the documents found in President Biden's home and an office building in Washington. The White House saying it is cooperating fully with the special counsel's probe. White House Republicans beginning their own examination. ABC national security contributor John Cohen says classified documents that end up in the wrong place can be unintentionally put there or put there on purpose. The job of the investigations will be figuring it out.
What investigators look at is the level of sensitivity of the information. Was the instance of mishandling accidental, inadvertent, or was it on purpose? If it was on purpose, what were the motives? Is it something, to write a book, something like writing a book, or did the person intend to give it to a foreign intelligence service? And was the information disclosed?
The flight data and cockpit voice recorders from that plane that crashed in Nepal have now been flown to France.
A team of French experts is here and the black boxes are being analysed, but at the moment it's still unclear what went wrong. What we do know is that both pilots were US trained at some stage, and the co-pilot who was in training at the time, her husband had died in a plane crash 16 years ago, flying the same airline.
That's ABC's Britt Clennett. Election-related security threats once again a concern following the death of a former Republican candidate named Solomon Pena, the arrest of a former Republican candidate. He is accused of organizing shootings outside the homes, officials say, of Democratic lawmakers.
No one was injured in this series of shootings, but Homeland Security officials continue to warn against the rise in political violence in this country, including threats against election workers and even that attack on former Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband.
That's ABC's Jay O'Brien in Washington. The fastest Corvette ever made comes out next year, and it's a hybrid. The Chevy E-Ray can go from 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, GM claims. It's also an all-wheel drive version of the famous sports car. You're listening to ABC News.
Paid for by government.com.
The 1921 to 1935 silver peace dollar, a true American classic, and one of the most iconic silver dollar coins in history. It has been over 85 years since these silver dollars were minted for circulation. But now, for a limited time only, full pound bags of original U.S. government-struck silver dollars are being released to the public. That's right. You can own a full pound of 1921 to 1935 original silver dollar coins, all in very good collector condition, with fully visible dates and mint marks, guaranteed. Call 1-800-473-1745 now to secure collector-grade U.S. silver dollars by the pound, minted during the Roaring '20s and the Great Depression. Plus, receive a bonus American Collector's Pack valued at over $25 free with every order. Call 1-800-473-1745 now to secure your full pound of United States silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-473-1745. 1-800-473-1745.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with unbelievable extended end-of-year sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60-foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building. Act fast, because for a limited time only, General Steel is extending its end-of-year savings. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74-STEEL.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us on this Tuesday afternoon, 112 right now, 15 degrees outside Fargo. A little bit of snow flurry action in the far southern valley, but all in all, not too bad of a day. Definitely much better than it was this morning. Roads were a bit slick out there, and there still are a few slick spots. So if you want to call in with a road report, feel free to do so. Give us a call at 701-293-9000. That's our studio line. Or you can always reach us via email during or after the show at weatherorag@flagfamily.com. We like to transition this part of the show into an ag topic.
We always try. Sometimes we even accomplish it, but man, there can be a lot to talk about.
Yesterday we didn't even get to one.
We had a lot going on.
That was a fun show yesterday.
Absolutely.
But why don't we touch on building a carbon-rich soil, Bridgette?
Okay. So carbon capture, that's a whole big buzzword that's going on right now.
Sure seems like it.
Grasslands, pasture lands have always been extremely good at that because plants capture the carbon in the air, move it into the soil system through their plant mass, their roots, etc. And that's one form of carbon capture. When you have soils that are less than rich in organic matter, by adding in more of a plant rotation, less tillage, so you have more plants on the ground, more plants that break down to leave organic matter, that's going to give you a more carbon-rich soil. And double cropping is very promising in a number of areas of the country where, let's say Kansas, you raise winter wheat, you take your wheat off in early July, you have a long enough growing season, you're able to plant a short season soybean, and you can plant and then harvest those soybeans later on in the year or even I should say June for their harvest. When you do that, you are allowing more carbon to be taken from the air, et cetera, moved into the soil structure. That's giving you a carbon-rich soil. But additionally, it's truly helping with all of the concern about greenhouse gases because of the three major ones, carbon is one that lasts in the atmosphere about 900 years. So there's a reason to want to pull it out. Agriculture, no matter how many times they try to tell me that carbon and greenhouse gas is a problem, remember, the ag industry is only 10% of overall greenhouse gas problems, and livestock are only contributing 4% of that. So we are always still a minor portion.
But that's not what the media says.
Funny enough, they might not know all the stats.
But yeah, they're still reporting it without all the stats?
We're the media. We're telling the right stats.
Well, we're different media.
We are. And again, one of my favorite follows is Dr. Frank Mittenleyer from UC Davis. And he works with farm producers in order to try to reduce their carbon footprints, et cetera. And he's very good at it. And he's very, very science-based. So we don't have to just do this on a whim, which in some ways I feel like that's what they're doing in the Netherlands, where they're trying to cut 30% of their farmers by 2030. That's a lot.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Too many. You know, I got a question, Bridgette. And
sure.
This is because I have no idea. And I've heard the terms. I never asked the question. Why is it winter wheat, spring wheat? Why does it get that name? Is it just when it's planted or?
Kind of. So winter wheat gets planted in the late summer, early fall, and then it has a vernalization period, like a hibernation period through the winter months. So it's a winter wheat. You harvest it earlier in the season. Spring wheat gets planted in the spring, lasts through the summer growing season. We will raise both up here. The heavier winter wheat growing regions are the southern plains, Oklahoma, Kansas, Colorado, et cetera, where we're more of a spring wheat market. We do have some winter wheat, but generally we're a spring wheat market.
What's hardier? The winter?
For the winter wheat's certainly harder to last through what we have going on out here. Absolutely. And it does require that cold period for itself. Otherwise, it doesn't come to yield the way spring wheat would. So just a little bit different.
That's interesting.
Now, when you looked at them, I personally am not good enough to say I could tell the difference if I looked at the seed and compared the two. They look pretty close to me. But I'm sure somebody else could tell.
Very interesting. Well, Dean, why don't we take a quick look at that forecast? Now, we kind of touched on it a little bit, that there's a bigger storm system traveling to our south that will impact travel for those going into, say, Nebraska or southern South Dakota, and then eventually trajecting up towards Wisconsin. But what's the rest of our week look like here in the Red River Valley?
Well, after today's blowing snow this morning, and we had some travel trouble on 94 there this morning, conditions are going to be improving as we head throughout the day. Can't rule out a flurry or two, but most of that in the far, far southern valley, generally Sisseton and southward. Other than that, we're stuck in the teens, and we're not really going to move much today. Northwest winds about 10 to 25. We'll start to relax a little bit towards evening. And then light winds tonight will drop down to a low near 10, and kind of a carbon copy all the way through the rest of the week. A lot of clouds around Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Temperatures pretty similar, mid to upper teens, and northwest winds blowing between about 5 and 15. So not really a big changing forecast. Nighttime lows aren't going to be that cold because, well, cloud cover. But I think by the weekend we'll see a little sun. Temperatures should be in the 20s, at least for Saturday, and the Clipper system should come in here either Sunday or Monday, dragging down some cold air from Canada there. And I still see an Arctic outbreak. We've been kind of advertising this, according to the LRC, by the end of the month, towards the end of the month and into the first few days, at least, of February, some Arctic air returns. So we'll say goodbye to the teens and 20s and more.
But I like the teens and 20s, Dean.
They're not bad. Yeah.
They're not as nice as 20s and 30s.
That would be even nicer. I don't see that on the horizon, though. That's
bummer.
So why I saw this question in a magazine, so I want to ask this. Glacial ice blue. Why is glacial ice blue?
Ah.
What is glacial ice? For those who might be listening. Do we know what that is?
Are you talking about
glaciers?
You're talking about
Why
the
are they
glaciers,
blue?
right?
So they're talking about when water freezes, even if you see like that blue tint to snow, why would that happen? Why would it have that blue color?
That's a good question.
Okay. From what
I'd have to go back to my textbooks on that. It has something to do. Is it under clear skies or is it under cloudy skies?
This doesn't say anything about the sky. What I read says when it freezes, there's small air bubbles that reflect the full spectrum of white light. And so if the older and more dense in ice, the bluer it is in color.
It can be, yeah.
Okay. So I wasn't sure if that was a true or false type of thing.
No,
I thought I'd ask.
Because remember we hit on that about the blue snow, didn't we?
I think we talked about blue snow.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Not
So it's
to be
kind of
confused with yellow snow.
not totally
stay
different.
away from
Thank you.
So it does. It's kind of the same thing.
Okay.
That when we talked about that, it was a few weeks back. I
I think it was that moisture
Yeah.
content.
Mhm.
Got it. All
Yep.
right. Well, because if you guys are going to ask me questions, I'm going to ask you too.
Thanks.
Anytime.
Send them all day long.
Got it. That's what we do best.
Well, when we come back, we're going to get Wanda Patsche on the line with us. And if you want to give her any questions or us questions, she's the executive director of Farm Camp. She got some Minnesota ag information she's going to share with us. Feel free to reach out to us at 701-293-9000. That's our studio lines. Stay tuned. Weather and Ag in Focus. We'll be right back.
Owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with unbelievable extended end-of-year sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60-foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building. Act fast because for a limited time only, General Steel is extending its end-of-year savings. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74-STEEL.
What do you call a place that feels like home every time you walk in? A place with plenty of TVs to watch a Saturday or Sunday game and still be able to carry on a conversation. It's known for delicious lunch specials, soups, and appetizers made from scratch every day. We call it Midtown Tavern, where they don't skimp on food or drinks anytime. Head to Midtown and enjoy Wednesday wine night, live music nights, and Dwayne's Pizza any day of the week. That's Midtown Tavern, Highway 10 East in Moorhead. See Facebook for specials, watch parties, and live music.
Hey, some big news. The 2024 election could be America's last one. That's the shocking conclusion of best-selling author David Horowitz. In his new book, The Final Battle, David Horowitz reveals a secret war underway in America. Democrats' woke culture and a new generation are destroying our culture and ending our freedoms. Horowitz says their plan is taking place in our schools, our churches, even in our military. This week, you need to watch David Horowitz on the Chris Salcedo Show as he reveals the real threat of Biden, Obama, big media, and more. Horowitz names names. So tune in today to Newsmax, the network I watch, and see Chris Salcedo and David Horowitz. And make sure you get a copy of The Final Battle. Newsmax calls it the best book of 2023. In bookstores everywhere, or get the free offer and save $28. Just go online to finalbattle611.com. Finalbattle611.com and get your free copy today. And be sure and watch Newsmax today.
Think about this winter. You're going along, snow blowing, and then you hit that uneven sidewalk or a large crevice in your driveway. The blower hits you right in the gut, and your hands hurt. Have you had enough?
Ramjack North can help. Level that concrete and put an end to your pain. Contact us now for a free estimate and to learn more at pccnd.com. That's pccnd.com. And have an easy winter.
Welcome back to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Bridgette, Readel, Ag Director, along with Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki and Meteorologist Justin Storm, also known as Speedy Redbeard when he's on the
I drive
interstate.
too fast on the highway.
That's what we're
I
told.
never thought I'd hear that.
Yeah, actually, I'm surprised, but keep it up. Okay, so we have a guest today. Our guest is Wanda, and Wanda, I so hope I get your last name right. Wanda Patsche. Wanda is the oh, go ahead. Correct me.
Okay, it's Patsche, but you're close enough. I'll go with that. So
Patsche?
You're good.
I got it. I'm taking Patsche. Wanda is the new executive director for Farm Camp in Minnesota. And should we be packing our sleeping bags? What do we got? We love a good field trip. So, Wanda, tell us more about Farm Camp.
Oh, yes, these are fantastic field trips. So just to kind of give you an overview, what exactly Farm Camp. So our whole intent is to try to bridge the classroom to the farm, or actually agribusiness, to create a customized, hands-on, and fun learning experience. It allows students to go deeper into a topic that's within agriculture. It is geared towards grades 5 through 12. And what's really nice, especially for the educators, is that it meets all educational curriculum standards. The program really consists of 3 different parts. The first part is classroom learning before they go to the actual field trip or farm camp, just to prepare the students for what they're going to see and experience. And then part 2 is, of course, is the actual tour. And then part 3, which we feel like is just as important, is they will go through a lesson about agriculture careers. We know that, agriculture is in dire need of people working just like other industries. 1 out of every 10 jobs in Minnesota is ag-related. And what we want to do is we want the students to explore all the different types of career options that are available. You don't have to come back to the farm, although that's great too, but there's a lot of other jobs when we think about veterinarians, animal nutritionists, construction, truck drivers. I can just go on and on. Even someone like, even say to a student, do you like to draw? Are you into graphic arts? Guess what? There's a place for you in agriculture, because someone needs to design those food packages. So that's the 3 parts. And as program director, I do all the heavy lifting. So by organizing the farm camp experience. So I'm just looking for educators that would be interested, and they can contact me, and then I will do, like I said, all the heavy lifting of organizing that experience.
This is going to be a lot of fun to ask all these questions, because when you said this is geared towards grades 5 through 12, good news, we generally behave like 5th graders, so we are right up your alley, Wanda. We are the ones that should be coming to camp. Let's just start with, how would a farmer sign up from his perspective, or her perspective, I should say? Who are you looking for? What's the general radius that students will travel, any of that type of background?
Right. So we'll work with the educator on that. Typically, it's going to be, within that 30 minutes. Maybe the educator already knows someone, has a name that's kind of locally, local to the school. If not, I have a lot of different resources I can reach out to. I'll talk to the educator and find out exactly what they're looking for. We really like to tie this back into their curriculum. So for example, let's say 9th graders. I know genetics is a huge topic, usually for 9th grade science. If they're interested, the educator would contact me, and then I can go out and reach, basically a farmer, maybe someone that grows corn or soybeans, bring them out to the farm. And I guess the most important part is that we want those experiences to be things that the students can feel, touch, smell, hear. That is what's going to stick with them. And there's so much, they're more impactful, and that's when the real learning takes place. They will remember this years down the road. They will remember those trips.
That's super cool. And how many schools are on board with this? What's you guys' outreach?
Yep. So the whole state of Minnesota, it's a new program. So we've only been doing this for about the past maybe 2 years. So it's growing. And that's kind of, I'm taking over and really want to build on this program. Really going to start connecting with educators and farmers. So right now we have about 6 farm camps that are scheduled between now and the end of the year. I'm hoping that there will be more. And I'm looking for those educators that are interested.
What are the camps that you currently have scheduled? Are we talking like a dairy farm, production grain? Where are they going?
Yeah, so a couple of them, let me think here. I've got one school that's in the Elk River area. And so they are looking for a dairy farm. I'm also probably doing like a strawberry farm. And so that's one of them. I've got another one in Goodhue County. It's actually a school in Harding's High School out of St. Paul. I'm looking to come down to Goodhue County, and they're looking for a dairy farm. We've got a couple that are doing like an egg or a career day. We've got East Grand Forks that's going to be doing a 9th grade career fair. And so we're really working with those and going to send them to, sugar beets, going to send them to dairy, going to send them to potato farm, and a number of other, places. So.
And Wanda, I know you said you've only been doing this a few years, but what would you say is the highlight for the kids? What part do they like the best?
Yeah, so I'll just kind of clarify that I've actually been only doing this job since January 1.
Oh, okay.
I was actually with Egg in the Classroom from 2017 to 2021 as a resource specialist. I took a step back basically to help a family member with a business, and now I'm back in this capacity. So,
gotcha.
So I haven't been doing it too long, but really when it comes down to it is really those experiences when they can go on the farm, especially let's take dairy. When they can go into a dairy farm and actually milk a cow, I mean, just see their expression and the things that they're learning. All the hands-on. Well, there's a lot of misconceptions about really where milk comes from,
Right.
And so we want to clarify that, and I think that's the big picture that I look at because there's so many misconceptions out there about where people's food comes from, and so we just, as someone in agriculture, we need to do our best to try to bridge those connections and talk about exactly what agriculture is. So I think just those hands-on, when I can see them do things, even if they're down and dirty and they're planting and they're doing this and that, for me, that is a huge success. And again, they're going to remember this. So.
Now, can parents come along with the kids? Because quite honestly, I think there's a lot of adults that would probably benefit from this.
Suddenly, Dean adopted
Right, yeah.
a bunch of kids so we can go on a school trip.
Are parents allowed to come along with the kids?
If the educator says yes, absolutely. In fact, we talk about these farm camps as being for the students, but the part I don't really talk about is for the teachers too. They're learning right along with the students. So
Sure.
Absolutely. So.
Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun to continue this conversation, which we will do just in a few moments. We are visiting with Wanda Patsche. She is the executive director for Farm Camp in Minnesota. Lots of great questions, how to connect teachers and farmers to give kids that real hands-on experience. Dean, as soon as we get you those backyard chickens, you could be leading tours at your place.
Sweet.
So we will continue that discussion with Wanda when we come back right after this.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
All right, thanks. Ugh.
What's wrong, hun?
I've got 2 major projects to complete. Now that it's cold outside, I've lost half my employees to warmer weather. I've got a half-done, non-insulated construction site that needs finishing, and I can't do it by myself.
Hun, if you're looking to get the job done and meet your deadlines, give Labor Masters a call.
Hi, Nancy Kelly here from Labor Masters. Labor Masters is the only call you have to make when your company needs last-minute help. We guarantee our work and handle all the details. Call us at 701-566-8755 or online at labormasters.net.
Do you suffer from stiff, achy, chronic knee pain? Have you been told you have arthritis? Is knee pain keeping you from enjoying your favorite hobbies? If so, the next 60 seconds could change your life. Please listen carefully. If we find you are a candidate for our unique approach, we will do a trial treatment, and day one you will know, without a doubt, if we can help you. Pick up the phone right now and call 701-502-6200. And best of all, we may be able to reduce and even eliminate your knee pain without pills, shots, or surgery. Due to limited capacity, you must call now at 701-502-6200. Hurry. Call now to find out if you qualify for our program that is changing lives and helping people save time, money, and agony. Call now 701-502-6200. You have nothing to lose, so call right now.
Hi, this is Kayla with Sanctuary and Riverhaven Event Centers, and I'm here to tell you why I chose 702 Communications for all of our managed services, phone, internet, and security cameras. At our event center, we have hundreds of people coming into our business weekly, and it's so important for us to have cameras that we can rely on. We reached out to 702 so that they could give us a quote for installing brand new cameras in all areas of our building, and now we have 26 cameras so that we know every part of our building is under surveillance and we're secure. We've had cameras in our business for a while, but we reached out to 702 because we were having issues. A lot of them weren't working all the time. So 702 was able to come in, give us a solution, fix everything, install all brand new cameras, and now we know we've got better audio, better quality, and we have an app that we use that has full surveillance 24 hours a day for us to pull up and know exactly what's going on. As a business owner, that peace of mind is invaluable.
If you want more peace of mind for your business that's invaluable, call 702 Communications right now at 218-250-8700. Again, 218-250-8700. Call now because peace of mind is priceless.
Hi, I'm Carson Kressley. Of all the resources in the world, kindness is the most precious. For more than 140 years, American Humane has been working to protect animals in disasters, on farms, on the silver screen, and in zoos and aquariums caring for the world's vanishing creatures. You can help too by making humane choices every day. Visit AmericanHumane.org for simple ways to build a more caring and compassionate world for all of us.
Welcome to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Bridgette, Readel Ag Director, along with the Crack Meteorology staff, Dean Wysocki, Chief, and Justin Storm. It is 1:35 in the afternoon. Thank you for joining us. We have with us today Wanda Patsche. Wanda is the Executive Director of Farm Camp in Minnesota. For those of you who are listening and think, boy, I really want to know more. Maybe I want to sign up as a farmer. Or I have a teacher in my life, or I am that teacher and I need some details. You can reach out to us via our phone lines, 701-293-9000. Also our emails, weatherorag@flagfamily.com. And if you've missed any part of this interview, catch up with us on our website under Show Archives, or you can see us live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Acres TV. So, Wanda, more questions for you. Like, first of all, how long does farm camp go on? Is this a half day for students? Is it a full day on a farm? What are they doing?
Yeah, so that's what makes this really special because it's customized. We have a conversation with the educator. What are they looking for? Sometimes they are half a day. It's very rare that they just go to one site and come back to the school. It's usually either a half a day or a full day. Depending on what the educator is looking for. But again, it's all customized. What do they want? And the other nice thing about this, let's say that they're at a school district that maybe doesn't quite see what we're trying to do, maybe a little bit reluctant, especially when they're looking for buses for transportation. We have transportation grants that we can actually help supplement those costs for those school districts, which is really nice. So we can kind of throw that out as a reason why farm camp won't work for a particular school, so we can actually help them with the busing. So yeah, it's just completely customized. There's no two farm camps that are the same.
And that was going to be my question. Is there any cost for the farm camp? So there are subsidies for, is that for any school or it is? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Any school, and there is no cost. So the schools.
This is a great educational tool for the kids.
I want to sign up an adult farm camp. I want a bus out front. I want us leading this, and let's get a whole pile of people on there, and let's go to a farm.
Well, and when we did the story a few weeks back about dairy cows having water beds in there, I mean, yes, let's go.
Okay,
let's go.
And when Wanda said earlier, you don't realize how much effort it goes into milking a cow. granted, I grew up on a dairy farm and we had a parlor, but from time to time you did have to milk by hand. It's a lot of work, okay? Yeah. There's a reason why dairy farmers' forearms are the size of Popeyes. That's how it really was. So there's so many cool things here that kids could see and do. And you said strawberry farm. So that's a really unconventional one too, Wanda. Is that the most unconventional you've gone to?
I would say, I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to remember some of the past camps that they've had. Again, I've only been on board here for a couple of weeks, so I don't have a lot of history to go on, but there's so many different types of farms that are agriculture related. And, think about pumpkin farms, how fun would that be? So, there's just quite a variety. So we're open to any type of agriculture.
You had touched on this in our previous segment, but how does one get involved with wanting to be this? Say I have a farm or property and operation. I want to be involved in this. I want kids to come to my place, learn about it, see how it actually happens. Is there a pretty, strenuous list that you have to complete or things you need to do to be eligible to bring in, 5th through 12th graders to your property for education purposes?
Yeah, so typically how the process starts, I would just ask people to send me an email, and that should go to director@farmcampminnesota.org. That will start the process. At that point, I will probably give them a call and try to really ask them a few questions. What are you looking for? How big is the class? Some basic information. And then from there, I will go out and find an egg host. Whether it's somebody I already know or it's through a connection that I know. There's a lot of different things, sources I can use to find that egg host. Once we have the educator and the egg host, then we're going to set up a 3-way conversation, probably Zoom, something similar to that, and then we'll hash out the details, so we can make sure that it's run as smooth as possible, because that's my goal, is to make sure that these camps happen and that it's as easy as we can make it for both sides. Right. So that we want a very positive experience.
There are so many things here. Okay, so what's the prep work on the teacher's side of things as the educator? Are there lessons beforehand? What are some of the things that a teacher might be doing in order to get her students ready or his students ready for this?
Yes, absolutely. So that is when we'll use the Minnesota Ag in the Classroom curriculum matrix. There's a lot of just wonderful lessons out there. It blows me away when I look at all of the different types of lessons that are out there. And so again, we'll kind of look at, okay, where's your farm tour going to go, or your farm camp? And then I'll go out to the matrix and I will find lessons that are age appropriate and then send those to the teachers so that they can prep them. Just this morning, I received a couple lessons about sugar beets. And because when I looked into the matrix didn't have any specific lessons about sugar beets. And so I needed to find some lessons. And actually, I don't know if Harrison Weber, he actually
I know Harrison. Yes, that's excellent.
Give me a couple lessons. So I've got that in my arsenal, because when we do the career day for East Grand Forks, that is going to be one farm that they go to. So I will send that to the educator ahead of time so that she can prep the students and give that information. So, yeah.
How does a career day work? You're bringing students out to a variety of farms. This is like a day-long bus trip from place to place?
Yes. We're looking at probably, I believe on this one, we're looking at 4 sites, and then we're going to bring them. Is there like a heritage center? I think in that area where they'll bring them to kids, and then they'll have some different displays set up there. So we're just at the beginning stages of organizing that. That will probably happen in May. So we've got a little bit of time, but yes, it will be 4 different stops. They'll have lunch probably at that heritage center, do a little bit of more education there, and then go to 2 stops in the afternoon. It will be a long, full day.
Guys, we could be bus hosts. Wouldn't we be ideal chaperones for high school students?
Oh, yeah.
Insert evil laugh.
Yeah. Now, Wanda. So the farmers that are participating in this, do they get any kickback from this? I mean, because they're taking time out of their day, which is fantastic, to help these kids out, and or is this just this is, hey, we want to sign up for this because we want to continue to educate our kids on agriculture?
That is it. They're not getting a kickback.
Okay.
But I have found that, agriculture and especially farmers, they get what we're trying to do. We need to build that connection with consumers, no matter if they're students or if they're adults. So they understand what we're doing and they're all on board. So that's
super
and that's
cool.
which has been really great.
And I think this would be beneficial for adults. And here's the reason.
Seriously, I'm lining up a bus over here. We're going.
If you go do like a man on the street interview with adults, where does milk come from? Well, the grocery store. I mean, and a lot of them actually seriously think that. So
Right.
I think this would be something that not only kids but adults would benefit at as well.
Just the technology. You think about Qual Dairy down at Lisbon, where they've got a robotic carousel. Where they're, if I'm remembering that right from what Qual does, but that's only a couple years old. There's so much technology now where the cows are going on and milking on their own schedules. The robots for feeding. It's fantastic. And just like Wanda said, think about the non-typical farm jobs that stem from that. It's huge.
Oh yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Yes.
Wanda, go ahead. Go ahead.
I would like to go to a potato farm because I know nothing about potatoes. I did talk to someone about all the processes they go through, and I'm just amazed. I had no idea. I will not look at a potato the same way. I live down in South Central Minnesota, so we have no potato farm, but we have lots of hogs and we have corn and soybeans. But yeah, no, I agree. There's a lot of great experiences there.
So you also on your website, you have different curriculums for teachers to take advantage of, starting with there's handouts, there's the Ag Mags, which are like a magazine. There are worksheets. You want to give a shout out to any of those particular items off your website that teachers should be looking for?
Oh yeah, we have a variety of different educational resources. We have videos. They've done a number of virtual tours in the past couple of years. In fact, they just did one here in December, which was on reindeer. So you talk about those unique experiences. And yeah, Ag Mag is fantastic. Teachers love those. Of course, the curriculum matrix, all the videos that we have online that you can just download. They're all free. There's no cost to any of that. And they're good. They're quality lessons. Trying to think here. Yeah, videos. I think that gives the best options there for teachers. So
pretty much any of the above.
Right. What would you say is like the projection with this farm camp? Like we've been talking about where you're at right now, but what's it look like maybe 5 years down the road, in your opinion?
Well, I hope to be here yet, and I want it to see it grow. I really do. I want to get it to the point where they have to hire 3 of me, just to keep up, because I think it's that important. So I think as long as we keep growing, keep refining, keep adjusting to what educators are looking for, students are looking for, and the ag hosts. I can't really give you a specific number, but my goal right now, being 2 weeks in, is I just want to see continual growth.
Will you only be able to work with Minnesota schools, or if we're a North Dakota border town, can we also contact you for participation?
That I'm not sure. I would have to do some checking to see exactly how that would work, but I'm sure we can make some arrangements. So definitely.
Oh, that's great. Any last minute questions, guys?
Oh, certainly. How do people find Wanda?
Yeah,
and
definitely.
This experience. So we need to know where to come find you.
Yep. So again, my email address would be director@farmcampminnesota.org. And then if you just want a little bit more information about Farm Camp, we do have a website. And again, that's farmcampminnesota.org. So a lot of great information there. If you got any questions, definitely give me a call, send me an email. I would love to work with people. It's very exciting. I'm really so excited about what the future holds.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a bright future. And one more time, if for someone who wants to be involved in a partnership with you, they want to have their farm, maybe be a host farm, how can they do that again? Or where is the same places to reach out to you?
Same place. Yep.
Awesome. Well,
and then I'll make the connection. So.
Perfect. Nice and streamwise and easy. That's how everybody likes it.
Make it easy. That's the whole point of this, is just make it as easy as possible.
Oh, definitely. Well, we've been speaking with Wanda Patsche, the Executive Director of Minnesota Farm Camp, and we want to thank you, Wanda, for joining us today here on Weather and Ag in Focus. And we hope that everything goes smooth with Farm Camp for the 2023 education year. and forward.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank
no
you.
problem. When Weather and Ag in Focus returns, we'll take another look at that forecast. Got a few ag topics to get to and maybe a surprise. So stay tuned. Weather and Ag in Focus. We'll be right back.
Attention business owners. Did you know that burglary and theft in Fargo is nearly 2 times higher than the national average? Walmart recently said that if theft doesn't slow down, they'll have to raise prices and shut down stores. Target projects they'll lose $600 million in net profits this year due to theft. As a business owner, you need to protect your business and your profits. You need a security solution. And right now, for a limited time only, 702 Communications is offering business security solutions that will protect you, your business, your employees, and your profits. To find out if you qualify for a 702 Communications business security solution, call right now at 218-304-8676. Again, that's 218-304-8676. Imagine the peace of mind you'll have knowing that your security solution is monitoring your business 24/7, 365. That peace of mind is priceless. So call now at 218-304-8676. Again, 218-304-8676.
New message.
Department of the Social Security Administration. The reason of this call is to inform you that your Social Security number has been suspended for suspicion of illegal activity. If you do not contact us immediately, your account will be deactivated. For more information about this case file, press 1 or call immediately our department number, 326.
This is a scam. Thieves are misusing the Social Security Administration's authority and phone schemes to trick you into giving them money or personal information. They state there is a problem with your Social Security number or account. They claim there's been suspicious or fraudulent activity, and you could be arrested or face other legal action. They even spoof SSA's main customer service telephone number on caller ID. Don't believe them. Don't provide any information. SSA employees will never threaten you for information or promise benefits in exchange for information. In those cases, the call is fraudulent. Just hang up. If you suspect you've been contacted by an SSA scammer, call the Social Security Fraud Hotline at 1-800-269-0271.
Grains ended stronger on the day. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Risbett with this closing market. Grain started the day off in the red. However, early morning they did turn around and posted some gains on some strength of China possibly reopening here very soon, and Argentina's weather that is slightly improving. And while Argentina saw some spotty showers during the weekend and have more expected this week, there is a winter storm that is expected across the Midwest today and tomorrow. Now, both spot corn and beans neared their late December highs. Funds are back buying corn and beans while being light sellers in wheat, which they also did recover from early morning losses. The USDA announced this morning new sales of 5.9 million bushels of corn to unknown and 4.4 million bushels of beans sold to unknown, both for 22-23. USDA inspected a 6-week high, 76.2 million bushels of soybeans for export shipment in the week ending January 12th, along with 30.5 million bushels of corn, 11.8 million bushels of wheat, and 0.1 million bushels of grain sorghum. Now, of those, the portion destined for China included 47.1 million bushels of beans, 10.8 million bushels of corn, and 2.5 million bushels of wheat. Now, marketing year-to-date, soybean export inspections through January 12th total 1.182 billion bushels, which comes in 40 million bushels below the seasonal pace needed to hit USDA's target, although that gap is narrowing. And for corn, marketing year-to-date, export inspections total just 424 million bushels. That's leaving 156 million bushels below the seasonal pace needed to hit that target. And that deficit does continue to grow. Let's get a look at the closing commodity numbers. March corn up 10 1/4 at 685 1/4. March beans up 12 at 1539 3/4. Wheat Chicago March up 8 at 751 3/4. Kansas City March up 12 at 855 3/4. And the March Minneapolis wheat that is down 3/4 at 911 1/2. Live cattle February down 72 at 157 even, and the February lean hogs they're down 2 dimes at 78.45. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Ristvet.
Welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. I want to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon. And with the remaining time we have left, Bridgette, you got a couple ag topics you want to quickly hit on.
Let's talk about bread.
I love bread.
I am
the band bread.
No, get out of here.
We're
Actually,
going way
eating
back
bread.
then.
Eating
Okay.
bread.
All right.
I'm kind
We're
of
not that old, Dean.
I'm a no carb left behind type of gal myself.
Right.
I think you guys are right there with me. And often you hear folks talk about how they don't like to eat gluten because it bothers them. First of all, there's very few folks that are actually diagnosed with celiacs or gluten intolerance, that type of thing. But many people just feel that they want to do something different in their diet. The reality is it's not necessarily the gluten that's in wheat. What we're finding, and this is some research being done by University of Minnesota, is that the faster they process the wheat at the bakeries, the millers, etc., the harder it is for our bodies to digest it. And so if we go to a longer form of processing, it's easier digestibility, including the fact that, remember that everybody went to go get their sourdough during the pandemic? I mean, I have one. His name is Ted. He lives in my fridge.
Storm.
Yeah, last week's storm.
Oh, man.
So sourdough, because it has that different longer fermentation than a quick yeast,
Right.
also easier digestibility. So we don't know the end result of this yet, but what we may start to look at is some changes in how we process and what we use for fermentation in order to make it a little more digestible.
So you said the faster that they
process
the wheat, the harder it is to digest.
It is. It sounds from what
so
I
you got to
have read-
drag this process out to make it easier on your tummy.
It sounds like it. Changing those processes instead of making them so short and fewer steps, which again is great efficiency. If they lengthen that out and do their grinding and milling differently, that could make a difference in some of the digestibility that we have.
Interesting.
That's super interesting.
So we're going to see what happens with bread, but again, keep up with that sourdough. There's groups all over Facebook and Pinterest, I'm sure, that help
People
you.
love their sourdough.
It's a big deal these days, right?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'll
Again,
tell you what.
my guy, his name is Ted. He's my sourdough starter. I have little Tedlets all
Awesome.
over the countryside as well.
Well, thanks for filling us in on that, Bridgette.
Well, my next step is to go fill in the folks up at the Wide World of Weeds up at North Dakota State University. There's a conference today for crop consultants, certified applicators, agribusiness folks, etc.
It starts at 2:30.
I will be on the agenda at 2:30.
You better get
Open to the public?
It is, and I'm going to be talking small attendance fee, but I'll be talking about water quality issues and buffer zones with the EPA on current pesticide labels.
Cool. We'll get out of here. We'll take care of the rest.
Yeah,
of
we'll
the show.
finish
You
this
gotta-
up.
Make sure it doesn't storm while I travel, guys. Thanks.
It won't. Yeah. Well, for once, actually, she'll have some good driving weather down there, and
Well, she's not traveling very far. Just if it was a little further, maybe we could sneak in some snow.
So speaking of weather, let's kind of recap the nation's weather as a whole, and then we'll kind of zone back in on us. The last of a series of storm systems has entered the West Coast. Finally, they're going to get a break. Boy, you never thought we'd have to be saying that because they've been in serious drought conditions, and our drought is expanding here a little bit as well because, well, it's been kind of a dry. Well, January's dry typically.
You know, that's always been something that's made me just wonder, scratch my little chin here.
Why do we do a drought monitor index in the middle of winter
Why
up
does
here?
it matter in the winter? It's not that we use it and then just reanalyze it in the spring when what actually melts into the ground gets into it.
I think that's what they're thinking is that the snow equivalent that we have on the ground is not that much. So and we ended last season on a very dry note in the fall. So you carry that over with we've gotten 26 inches of snow this winter, but the water content of that snow is
pretty light.
It's not that great. So that's a reasoning for kind of expanding the drought monitor index here.
You know, that's the other thing too.
area.
Like, even if we start off on the drier side going into spring and we just start planting, it just takes a good storm at the beginning of the year and then just a timely rain to keep things going smooth.
And we'll be kind of hinting on that over the next few months using the LRC, what it looks like coming into spring. What do the summer months look like for our growing season? And again, we're just starting to dive into that right now, but it doesn't look that bad.
No,
it doesn't look that bad. So that's good news. And again, we'll go into more detail on that, but I wouldn't worry too much about what the drought monitor index is saying right now because that more than likely is going to change as we head into spring and summer. But short term, there's a pretty big storm system that's going to be passing to our south as we head into the middle and Wednesday, Thursday of this week. So if you have any travel plans going to Nebraska, northern Iowa, Wisconsin, extreme southern Minnesota, the central parts and northeast parts of Nebraska are going to take it on the chin. And then as that system moves northeastward, lesser amounts, but still 6 to 9 inches from Wisconsin through, let's say, Des Moines and parts of northern Iowa. After that system goes through, we'll have a little clipper system ride our way as we head into early next week, either Sunday night or Monday, and that will drag down some colder air, and then Arctic air, it looks like, will arrive with a couple of clipper systems as we head towards the end of the month, first part of February. But I still don't see any major storm systems around our area through the end of the month and into early February. I believe our next chance, according to the LRC, of a bigger storm system around our area would come, was it the...
there was two systems. There's one at the end of the month, like towards the 30th, and then it's like I wish I had the date right in front of me. It's like the end of the first week of February.
I think it was like the 5th through the 7th,
somewhere in there.
Somewhere around there.
Whichever one of those is the more dominant storm, which right now, it probably looks like it's going to be the February one.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get that cold
Arctic
dump of Arctic air behind it, but we'll get a small one before
We'll
that.
see a small taste of it before that. But that one at the end of the month here, 27th onward, at least it went south in the last cycle.
It went south in the last
two cycles.
Two cycles, but we got clipped in cycle one. And this time it doesn't.
It looks like it's probably going south again. Yeah. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And then our next chance of, like we said, any really appreciable snow should come that end of the first week in February. And again, that may go south too. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But these systems that are going south now in the first few cycles.
That's promising for spring.
It is, because as we get closer to spring, as that jet stream retreats northward, these systems, instead of going south, should start to trek further north. That, combined with a transition from La Nina to El Nino, would also play a part of that as well. So that should help kind of pull these storms a little further north as we head into spring. And that either means more snow or more rain, but kind of breaking out of the dry cycle that we've been in, although it really hasn't been that long.
It's been a really nice January.
It's been dry.
It's been cloudy.
It's been foggy. It's been foggy, but
temperatures
have not been. We have not had our January Arctic outbreak, and in return, we haven't had our January thaw. We had one day,
35 on Sunday.
That was it.
What a beautiful afternoon.
That was. Man,
what a gem.
But Jay Thomas's show is coming up next. We will be giving away a rain gauge on the Jay Thomas show. We've got a new weather term. We're going to teach Jay about.
I love weather terms, and Jay loves them more than I do.
And if any of the listeners know what this weather term is, we will give them a rain gauge. So for us here at Weather and Ag in Focus, for Justin, myself, and Bridgette, I want to thank you for tuning in. Have a great day, and stay tuned. The Jay Thomas Show coming up next.